Mangala, 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 me.
Hi everybody, today we are doing something a bit different. Sheena and I, we've been married for 10 years. It's a great run, it was awesome. But sometimes it's good to have different perspectives. And so today we have special guests. We have Matt and Lisa.
I'm Matt.
This is Lisa.
Let's all cheers.
Cheers! You gotta look at each other in the eye when you cheers.
Don't bring my glasses.
Cheers everyone in the eyes.
Salud.
So really what we want to do, they're about to get married. And it's an exciting time, and so we've done that, but it was 10 years ago, and so things have changed, and we just want to gain their perspective of life together, how things work for them, and then maybe we could bounce ideas too. And also, as always, we like to have comments and suggestions and thoughts of you. So anything you hear in this mix, comment below and let us know what you think.
I just thought of a hashtag.
Okay.
What about Mangala Matthew?
Well, let's dive in. Yeah, let's dive in.
How did you guys meet?
We met online. Bumble.
Bumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met online on Bumble.
Alright. That was a lot shorter answer than I expected. I like it.
Was
We
it
swiped right.
Now take us back to that moment where you're looking at each other and it's a new thing and you realize, I like this person.
So, our first date, we had a pre-date to our first date. And
This was after like a week of talking, right?
yeah, we talked for probably a week and a half.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then we wanted to make sure, online you never know.
When he says we,
sure.
he means him.
Fair enough.
Me.
He was trying to be nice.
I wanted to make sure that she was who she
That's
I
fair
thought
enough.
she was
Yeah,
for
that's
chatting
fair.
for a week.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
So I
picture
said-
matched the face.
You don't want to get
Okay.
catfished, right? You don't want to get catfished.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
This is where you insert what catfish means.
Oh, okay. Definition of catfish right here.
But yeah, so we went on a pre-date to our first date.
Yeah.
And it was just easy.
He was
She was easy.
I was in town seeing some friends and I said, hey, before we meet up tomorrow, let's meet up today. Just kind of make sure I'm not making a date with a man. You are who I think you are.
Sure, of course, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
that makes
so
sense.
we had a pre-date to our first date.
It was like a go and see.
Yeah,
Go and
I
see.
like that.
I like that. Go and see.
Yeah, to know if the first date was going to go well.
And it felt good, even at the pre-date.
Yeah, it was just
It didn't last long. We literally kept it short.
probably
Like what's-
30 to 45 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
dope.
max. Yeah.
And then the next day, he picked me up at my house.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You trusted him to come to your house, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to trust him either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which probably isn't
Not a smart
the
idea.
best advice.
No.
Okay, when I first started doing online dating, it was
Sure.
always third location.
Yeah.
But
That's
then
the best way to do
I
it.
think I became like smart enough where I could tell when someone's like psycho or
But do you think
sketch.
that's safe? Like,
No, it's
people,
not safe.
People that are watching right now,
Absolutely not,
that
it's
are
not
in the
safe.
shoes that you were in, would you recommend them saying,
No.
"Oh, when you get comfortable enough, let them come to your house"?
No.
No.
So what I would do when I first started doing it, we would set up the date, and when I was leaving, I would text my friends where I was going to be. But yeah, no, don't let people come to your house. It's not a good idea. Not a good
Be wise.
Yeah.
Be wise. How long did it take to know that he or she was the one?
It was probably 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why-
I would say 3 months.
Why 3 months?
Why 3 months? That's a good question. A good follow-up question.
we met in July 2016, so July, August, September.
Yeah. And then in October, obviously, that's when you...
I broke up with him.
Ah.
Yeah. So,
When you found out this is the one, she's like, eh.
it wasn't until she was dumping me that I let her know.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Literally, we were breaking up. We were sitting at that West Gray TJ Maxx in the car, and right when we were breaking up, he decides to tell me that he loves me.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was
Like that was gonna make me stop.
made you come back.
Got him.
Okay,
That's
so then how much time passed before your paths crossed again?
They never really stopped crossing.
Okay.
We would hang out maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks.
Not even.
Not
More
even?
Like once a
Right.
month.
Once a month.
And we'd meet up for breakfast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it was so platonic.
That was
Yeah.
an intentional move. To
Yeah,
say, hey,
absolutely.
We want to be friends type of thing? Is that what it was?
No,
Like,
I didn't want to be friends with
so
him.
why are we still meeting up?
What are you, her dad?
I'm just asking.
No, I think she actually saw something in me that she knew was there.
Oh, okay. So
she
dig
was
it.
just
So,
waiting to bring it out of me.
oh, okay.
And see that before she made the commitment.
That's fair.
To be like,
Yeah.
you know what, I gotta see this before I make a further commitment.
Yeah.
Right.
And
that's
she
fair.
didn't see it the first time around. And I was going through a lot. I'd lost my mother in May
Oh my
before I met her. So
Yeah.
2 months before I met her, I lost my mom.
Yeah. Wow.
So I was going through a lot emotionally,
Right.
spiritually.
Right.
She didn't see what she needed to, and saw the commitment from me until we started hanging out platonically.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
see.
there's still something there.
I get
And
you.
she
Okay,
knew
okay.
that. She
Okay.
knew that, and I think it took us hanging out platonically for her to see it,
Right.
and just some more thinking on both
Nice.
ends.
Okay, cool.
So,
That's-
yeah.
That's cool. That's good to know.
So when did you know he was
Yeah.
the one? If it was 3 months for him, you were like, why did it take 3 months? Well, how long did it take you?
Yeah, I know.
That's almost like an unanswered question for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there was a pivotal point, but I saw him falling in love with me.
Yeah.
I saw it coming.
Oh wow.
And then
Oh wow. That's good.
You feel though.
when you said
When you saw me falling in love with you, how did that make you
Right.
feel?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
okay, so going back to when he said he loved me, I literally told him, why are you telling me this while we're breaking up? This is like, I was like, this is low key like manipulative. That's like what people do to like keep you at the end,
Sure.
you know?
Sure. Yeah.
And then I told him, I was like, that's great that you love me, but if we're trying to go forward with this, like, there's like some pivotal changes that have
Sure.
to happen for me
Right.
to like be like, okay, I can love you too.
Right.
And by I can love you too is like there's a future in it,
Right.
right?
I get you. Yeah. Sure.
So I think the breakup and then that platonic stage of just honestly it was friendship.
It was.
Like
Yeah.
it was like breakfast with like long walks.
There were a few days where we would hang out for 10 plus hours.
Oh golly.
We would be at a restaurant for 6 hours
Wow.
and just sit and talk
Right.
all day.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow.
I didn't know how she was feeling because obviously she had broken up with me. I had no
Right.
idea.
So I'm sorry to interrupt. During that time, you're thinking like, I spilled my heart. I told you I love you, and you're just kind of sitting there. We're just being friends. So you're still feel the way you feel.
But I didn't think she was leading me on at all. I
Okay.
honestly thought she was doing some searching herself and
okay.
trying to validate the feelings that she was having on
So
her
it was
end.
still fruitful for you. Like you're thinking
Yes.
it's still worked.
So you're saying there's a chance.
No, exactly. No,
Yeah,
that makes
and
sense.
I had talked to my dad. He said he's like, you have to stick with it because the way you're talking about her.
Oh yeah.
He even said, he's like, you cannot give up until it's completely done
Yeah.
and you guys have completely separated paths and not crossing at all.
Sure.
He's like, you have to keep going because the way you're talking about her, he's like,
Wow.
yeah, he's like, you have to.
That leads me to something like, so his dad was a pivotal person that he kind of was going back and forth, having long conversations about during our breakup. So that opened up an opportunity for me to have some pretty open conversations with my mom that I'd never had before about
Sure.
relationships. Culturally, it wasn't there for me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so she called me at the opportune time one morning when I was like, sulking and feeling like it was coming to an end because I didn't see the change
Oh,
or
I
the
see, I
change
see.
that I needed. And so I told my mom about him and she, asked some like background questions about him and then she goes, so what went wrong? And I was like, we're not spiritually compatible. I pretty much like told her, I was like, I feel like, losing his mom and
Right.
that loss really took a toll on him. The thing that stuck with me and it gave me like chills was she was like, I'm going to pray for a creative miracle.
Whoa,
Which
she
was,
said that?
yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. Who is this? Exactly. Oh, I'm and I was like, that for some reason like sparked some hope in me. The fact that she was on my side about it, but that doesn't. But she also was super pragmatic, as Malayali women are. She was like, but that doesn't mean that you should carry on with him. You know, she was like, I'm gonna pray for a creative miracle, but don't lead him on. So
that's good. That's good advice.
Yeah, it is. That's absolutely great advice. And so
it was January,
December or January when that happened, and then he started coming around more, and it didn't feel weird. But
I could see you falling in love with.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I could. I could see her coming back around.
Oh, nice,
I could see her slowly but surely coming back around.
Nice.
Yeah.
So good.
And we taught. We did nothing but talk.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, we talked about it all, and he was reading a lot of books, and I was like trying to stay encouraged and
listening to podcasts about relationships and religion and spirituality and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang, man. So just really quite a journey just to be in the relationship.
Yeah.
Like to get to the point where it's like, this is we're together now.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I think it's awesome because, like, when you go through these peaks and valleys, you learn so much about each other and yourself and all those things too. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah. It was like for the first, like, my dating history didn't necessarily add up to like what I wanted.
Sure.
So this was the first time that I saw a guy that was like legitimately like truthful, honest, kind, respectful.
Right? Yeah.
And then I was like, oh no, I can't. I have to break up with you because it's not all there.
Yeah.
And I can't lead you on either.
Of course, yeah.
You know?
No, that makes sense.
So,
man. Do you experience any cultural differences that you were surprised of? Like, there's certain things that you would be like, I know I'm going to have to face this. But are there things that just surprised you? Like, oh, I didn't know this was a cultural difference that we have to even talk about.
One that comes to mind, I like kind of hung him out to dry, but I did it on purpose.
Did he keep his shoes on at someone's house?
No, but I told him that one. I told him, I was like, you know, this is an Asian household, so shoes come off at the door.
I always usually do it anyway.
Oh, okay.
When he went to go meet my parents for the first time.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you take it over.
Yeah, so I asked what her parents' names were, and when they introduced themselves, it was Joshua, and then it was Mary.
Yeah.
And all night, I was calling them Joshua and Mary.
Right.
And after we were already like laughing on the way home, her mom texted her and was like, he was nice, but he needs to stop calling us by our first name.
Yeah.
And that was on purpose. Like, I didn't want to prep someone so hard. Just let
natural,
him be yourself, right? So my mom, we were cleaning up after we had lunch together, lunch. And she goes, she was like, you need to tell Matthew, like, she's like wiping something up. She's like, you need to tell Matthew not to call me by my name. And I was like, I kind of pushed back. I was like, so what do you want him to call you?
Right.
Like, do you want to call you Auntie?
Yeah.
Miss Varghese?
Oh, right.
And she goes, you can tell him to call me Amachi. And I was like, no.
Not happening.
And I was like, no, because you're not his Amachi.
Right, yeah.
And so, insert Amachi.
Definition of Amachi.
And so I was like, I think I'm just going to let him call you Miss Varghese.
Okay.
So we got in the car and I kind of gave him the lowdown. Like, you don't call people by their first name. It's like a thing.
But in my culture, I don't even know what I am. But in my culture,
where are you from? Yeah,
white. All my parents when I hit senior year of high school were like, Matt, you're old enough to call me Mike. You're old enough to call me Christine. You're old enough to call me John.
Not over here. We don't do that.
And they would tell you, you've known me long enough and you're old enough where you don't need to call me Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so. So once I was a senior and I was out of high school, I called all my parents, all my friends' parents, mainly by their first names.
Oh, wow.
So it was...
And not around here we don't do that.
That is, I mean, but like, because I'm born and raised in this country, and for some reason, even now, I feel weird calling like people that are my parents' generation by their first name. It just feels
you would never
weird.
do it.
Yeah.
What about if it's somebody at the Indian grocers? Would you call?
Yeah. Hi, Uncle. How are you?
Yeah, but the guy checking you out.
Yeah.
Did you call him uncle
Or,
too, right?
I don't,
Okay,
say,
that's
or
what
I
I'm
don't say
saying.
anything. I was just like, thank you.
The weirdest thing is when at work
Yeah.
there are Malayalis around. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because you think once you cross that threshold of don't call me Mr. or Mrs. because if you do, then you're being disrespectful.
insulting.
You're insulting me because I told you stop calling me that.
That's true.
Call me by my first name. So now
Yeah.
it's like, well, she didn't tell me that. And I was just like, this is what I've been doing for
Of course,
10 years now. So
that's interesting.
Understandable.
She wanted to be
totally
natural.
understandable.
Yeah.
So he's just stuck to Mr. and Mrs. Verghese.
Now tell us all the ways she's screwing up.
Yeah.
There really wasn't anything on my end because I honestly don't know a lot about my cultural background.
Sure. Yeah.
I know 4 of the things that I am, but I don't know beyond that.
I see.
And we never had cultural meals or anything growing up. It was the traditional Christmas, you eat Christmas ham. Thanksgiving, you eat turkey. It was every holiday you did what the standard food was. We didn't celebrate our culture because
That's American.
yeah.
You can say that.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So
yeah, and I guess we have the benefit of being born and raised here that we know enough of the American culture to fit in. Like when she comes to visit your family,
so
she
it was
kinda
never
knows
awkward from her end. But it was because she's first generation, so they still have a lot of the old cultural stuff that they
Customs.
Traditions.
that they used to have. So
That
it's
makes sense.
for me. It was. I think it was a lot harder than her. Her was easy.
He was fine. It wasn't that big.
That one
I
little
think
thing,
we
right?
did
That was
well.
that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other
that's
than
fair.
that, I mean, they were just excited that I was entertaining the idea of dating somebody and bringing them home. So, like, don't scare him off.
And she said, she said I was the first person she ever introduced to her parents. So that right there
means a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I told him that I was like, I've never taken anybody home before, so just so you know, this is it, buddy. This is it.
That's awesome. Wedding prep. Where are y'all?
Do you know?
The heavy lifting is done.
Oh, okay.
We have the chapel. We have the 2 reception halls.
Nice.
Well, the reception hall.
Yeah.
We have the rehearsal dinner spot.
All right.
So all of the venue areas, now we just have to fill it in with the
flowers
food,
and stuff.
the linens, the flowers, just the stuff that goes
Invitations.
in the venues that we rented. So
Yeah.
Is there like a stress level that you're like, oh my god, we're still doing this stuff? Or is it pretty chill?
I don't think you're stressed out.
I'm stressed out from work.
And he's got his own thing. I'm stressed out, like low key. Sometimes the worst thing sometimes that you can do is look at a checklist,
Yeah.
and because there's so many prescriptions of where you should be.
Oh,
you know?
those kind of checklists.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay.
Because I'm not even there yet.
Yeah.
No, I get you. Yeah.
But then I just like have to be like, we have time. We have a planner. If I need the help, I just reach out to the 600 brides, that I know.
Right.
And they all are super helpful. But I think my biggest thing is like paralysis by analysis.
Sure, yeah.
Sometimes I just like
Overwhelming.
Yeah, like yesterday I was looking at wedding invitations and I was on GChat with our friend Shireen.
What? Forget that fool. Shut up, Shireen.
I didn't say that to you. And I was like, okay, Shireen, you're going to help me pick out my wedding invitation.
Yeah.
And I think I sent her like 16 links and I was like, what about this one? 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 And she was like, hey girl, I think you went through the whole website and you got one. And so then we set up like an independent email address just for our wedding contracts and stuff to contact to like separate the two. So I forwarded, I ordered samples of our wedding invitations and I forwarded the receipt to that wedding email address.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, I hope you didn't buy a wedding invitation for $8 a piece. And
I thought she got one sample for $8,
like,
and I'm
$8?
like, an $8 invitation.
We're doing an e-buy for this wedding.
Where you
save
at?
our money.
Yeah.
Because when we first started the process, everything I looked at, I was like, okay, this might be a few $100 extra.
Yeah.
No, a few thousand.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, every little thing.
I'm okay.
Yeah. See,
Are you okay?
she's choked up on the
I have to be good about like giving him tasks.
Delegating.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
she's taking a run of it or something. Oh, I see.
Yeah, she's taking it by the reins and just run with it, and she'll throw a gift off the back for me to go play with, so I can give me something. Yeah. So like a cat. But yeah, she's definitely taking the reins. She's been fantastic. I mean, she's seen the stress I've been having lately with work and stuff.
Sure.
It's hard to
She's
do
been
that.
awesome. Yeah, cool. But I've tried to.
We talked about wedding. Let's talk about the marriage. What are you most worried about when it comes to marriage?
I don't know if I should say this, but
You should say it.
it's just by looking at her room. When I visit her room,
Preach it!
that's honestly the biggest part that I worry about.
You're just like him.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like I visit and I can't see the floor. And I'm like, right now I live in a shoebox. So if I have
Yeah, his apartment is about the size of
this room.
So like if one shirt is on the ground, it's covered.
I'm like,
what did you get me wrong? No, that's not fair.
swimming. But yeah, like that's what I'm worried about when I see her room. But honestly, I'm not worried about getting along or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's honestly just that. It's how we handle it in the kitchen or how we order stuff in the home.
Sure.
The chemistry is there.
Yeah, but I feel like relationship-wise, I'm not worried about it.
That's good. Do you have any worries that you're walking into and like, oh, I've never talked about it, but
The world wants to know.
I was gonna say, I don't think there's, well, maybe like, this is serious, like, but like childhood trauma and stuff, and how that comes up in like,
Sure.
in a marriage relationship. And I've told him about like that stuff, but it's like, we're gonna go to like premarital counseling, and we're talked about even not just premarital, but continual like checkups and maintenance.
Right.
So yeah, I'm sure it'll come up.
I feel like you guys have been preparing for marriage so well, like in your openness and conversations and identifying things, not expecting like, oh, people just get married and then it just works out. Like you're very intentional. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and she said she's never been that open, like had that open discussion with previous relationships in the past.
Right.
And she said, I've never been like this, just, if I have a problem, we bring it up and we talk about it.
That's good, yeah.
It's not, let it sit there and fester.
Right.
And then down the road, it comes out as something else.
Yeah.
So I think we have a very good, like I said, even when we first met, it was open dialogue. It was so easy. We talked about everything on our first date, from what our likes were to like serious things in our family, and it was about everything. So we've never had that issue of communication.
That's good.
And whether you're at work or you're in your personal life, communication is one of the biggest hiccups that you have.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I feel like since we have that part down, we're gonna be okay.
I totally agree. Like that was a huge thing for us too. Like it was because we're young when we got married and stuff like that. And I remember, like, as long as we're open, as long as we always talk to each other, as long as we're like, I'm not hiding something or like keeping something in the back of my mind just because like, for whatever reason, because people have their own reasons why they don't share with their wives or their husbands.
Sure.
As long as that's not the case, we'll be okay. Your journey just in the whole dating phase of life was such a bunch of ups and downs, which really was a good thing. It's good to be able to like, because it forces it out, right? It forces out the need to talk.
Yeah.
And as long as you have trust in the relationship, the communication's easy because you don't have to sit there and think about, is this person being honest with you? You already know exactly what they're saying is what they're feeling.
I think in the past it's one of those situations where like if I open up and like show my scars or vulnerabilities, or it's like what kind of consequences it's gonna have.
Right.
You know, truly, if you want that person to know you, like I was like, I'm going to tell him this about me, so he gets more insight. I respond this way because this happened to me, I didn't respond that way because this happened to me. So there's some context. When you become like emotional or non-emotional, there's some like context.
So the other person doesn't start thinking, why are they not doing what they're supposed to be doing? Making excuses.
Yeah, that's so good. That's really good.
What do you love about Matt?
Are we talking about physically or like?
Whoa.
Well, you're talking about like external or internal?
What's the first thing that pops into your mind when someone asks you the question, what do you love about Matt?
I was looking internal, but yes.
She loves that I started paying for haircuts.
Yes!
You didn't pay for haircuts before?
He cut his own hair.
You could, like when I first met you were cutting your own hair?
Yeah.
Congratulations, that was good before.
He didn't disclose that for a very long time.
Yeah.
And one day he walked away to go order something at the counter at a restaurant, and I looked at the back of his head and I'm like, that is a whack fade. Like,
I was
what
like,
happened?
who did you pay?
It looked good from the front.
I mean, I was low-key impressed that he was cutting his own hair, and then he was like, yeah, I've never paid for a haircut in my life.
Never.
Never.
Good for you.
Oh,
And
good for you,
y'all are
man.
frugal, so you love this.
Good for you, dude. That's awesome.
But then I was like, okay, that's cool, but I'm here to help you elevate. let's get you a
step
real
this up a
haircut.
bit.
When he shows up at my door, the way he like shows up so confident after his fresh cut.
Do you feel the difference?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He's like,
Yeah.
can't nobody tell me nothing right now.
No, but then I guess that's good though, right?
Yeah.
It works,
gives
right?
me confidence.
Less money in the bank.
So
Oh,
what
but
do you really love about me?
I liked his face.
Yeah.
Okay, that was like
that's important.
That's important. That is like, and then from there it went internal like immediately. Like I was like, okay, it's a cute face. But then when we started talking, he was just a nice person.
Yeah.
Good.
And I think that's what made me step back. I was like, oh God, he's really nice. I have to like reevaluate because I can't compromise.
Oh, sure,
You know?
sure, yeah.
And he was like, no, let's compromise, let's compromise. I was like, no, there's deal breakers on the table. I'm telling you my deal breakers. So, internally, dude, he's honest. He's got a high level of integrity. You know, the shady things that Indian people do.
He ain't got that.
He ain't got that. He's like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And so high level of integrity. He's honest. The way he like looks at me, it's like very pure and like, you weirdo, I love you. You know,
Weirdo, I love you. Okay, cool.
Like he never tells me to like tone it down or
right.
like.
He accepts you at full volume.
I guess, unless I'm in the car.
Yeah. And she sneezes. She has this really like, she'll sneeze, but at the end it's like at the end, it's like a dog whistle.
What do you love about Liz?
It's honestly her passion for life in general. I think you can tell a lot about people just by the relationships that they have in their life. She has a very big group of friends, which means I'm not the only one that sees it.
Oh, right.
She has a very purposeful, driven life. She knows what she wants. She's obviously funny. I mean, everybody knows that. You can...
Please.
I feel like I'm at your wedding right now. And Liz is in her dress, like crying. She's saying a mouse.
Yeah, I love it. I just love our dynamics together. We've always been open, which is good.
Are there things about Liz that surprise you?
Not really.
You probably don't notice it anymore.
Maybe, yeah, but I've always seen her as like quirky.
Yeah.
So when she does something, it's like, oh, it's just Liz. Like
Pulling
it's
a Liz.
just part of Liz.
Yeah.
So it was never anything catching me off guard. It was just like,
how long? I don't know if we asked this question. How long have y'all known each other for?
July 2016.
2 years.
2 years.
yep, coming up on 2.
Nice.
What is something about Matt that a lot of people don't know?
He grew up in a neighborhood with no fences.
All right. Northern life, maybe?
Yeah, we never locked our car doors.
Wow.
Sometimes we just forgot to lock the house door.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A different life.
Yeah.
We had burglar bars growing up.
We had
Yes,
locks.
you
We had locks for our
literally
locks.
segued. I was telling him about the house that we grew up in North Shore. Shout out to North Shore, where y'all at? and I go, yeah, our house had burglar bars. And he goes, what's a burglar bar?
Oh, snap.
I didn't know what she was talking about.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You had a good life. That's awesome.
I think you'll appreciate
Okay,
this
okay.
one. He doesn't like mustard.
Yeah!
Oh, does
Not
like
a tangy
mustard.
guy.
And I should have dropped him off I should have left him on that first day when they brought out this hot piping pretzel to the table. And I go, oh man, you should take the pretzel and dip it in the mustard. And he goes, oh, gross. I didn't eat mustard. And I was like,
oh man.
Yeah,
why are you so passionate about mustard?
I love mustard.
I almost knocked out a baby because I don't like mustard.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
That's for real.
Like, because I was sitting there eating a sandwich and they placed mustard right by me. I hit it and it went like right past a baby's head.
Oh my God. Man.
I've always made the argument, a chef prepares the meal the way they want you to eat it. So why do you smother it in ketchup before you even take a bite? They put everything they want on it because the flavors go together.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, so I want to let me taste it first.
That's fair
It's
enough.
like eating A1 on a steak without trying the steak.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
no, man, that's different. You don't do
Or
that.
dipping the
Right.
sushi in the soy.
Yeah.
But I have a friend, before the food even, it gets down, before he takes the first bite.
Salt and pepper?
Salt and pepper. Heavy salt and
Hot
pepper.
sauce.
Benson, Varghese on top of you.
Same thing.
Kristen Hilliard.
You do it too, Kristen?
She pre-salts before
I'm like,
she gets to
but
the
what if
table.
it's already seasoned? What if it has...
How do you
Did
know?
you just over-seasoned it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's
But
no such thing.
it's unfair about I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
All right, back to your wedding.
Yeah.
What's the feel of your wedding? What do you want people to experience, to
Oh.
walk away saying?
So our friend Melody Duarte and Moses Morales, who just got married in
Oh, yeah.
November,
Love
she
you
gave
guys.
me love you guys. She gave us a great idea. She's like, y'all should pull out a piece of paper and write down the things that you want for your wedding. So we made a list.
Okay. And so what's the...
Mangalam Mangalam, did that make the list?
Mangalam Matthew, that's the hashtag to a Mangalam remix. Do
Oh
that.
my God! Please, somebody make a Mangalam remix.
Pokey, work on it.
So one thing I think we agreed upon was we wanted mustard at our wedding. No, I'm kidding. We wanted fun.
Fun.
Fun was one.
Family,
Family for sure.
friends.
I said I wanted like
A lot of F words.
This wedding.
freedom.
Hashtag, that's our hashtag.
Hashtag.
F this
Get
way.
effed up.
I put antiquity. Like I wanted like there to be like an old school feel to it,
Uh-huh.
and I want to pull in some type of like Malayali traditions here
sure.
and there. That's why we're gonna sing
Mangalam.
Mangalam.
We disagreed. I wanted small, intimate, only small small groups, all closest friends and family.
Yeah,
Oh,
With her, it's impossible.
I get it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you.
Close family friends of like
How
600 people.
is it 600? What's the
Nah,
number?
man, that's your wedding. How many did y'all have?
At least 600, yeah.
Yeah.
650.
Yeah.
So she did narrow it down.
I did.
So it's only max 250.
That is
Yeah.
So
Incredible.
this is my question. How
From y'all's perspective, right?
Yeah.
When I tell
incredible.
people that are his color, I'm like, so how big is your wedding? Or how many people are you inviting? And I'm like, oh, it's pretty small. Yeah, pretty much. Like, just a small, like 250. They're like, dang!
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody knows that a wedding, the reception, that's for your guests, and that's what I want our wedding to be. Is about not all about just us,
Sure.
but our guests.
As
I feel like our marriage is not going to be about us. It's going to be about. It's not going to succeed without our friends and family.
Right,
They
right.
say it takes a village to raise a child. I think it takes a village to make a marriage successful too.
Oh, but
So
that's very
important
true.
to
I
me
think that's
that,
awesome. That's good
that we
insight.
share it with the people that mean the most to us and that are going to help us through everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that we love the most. So
Are you guys gonna put the toilet paper with the roll over the front or the back?
we've already agreed front.
Yeah, front.
Really?
Absolutely front.
Yeah.
Man, y'all already ahead of the game,
You're
guys.
psycho if you do it the other way. You do it, you're psycho!
I don't even think about
We
it.
don't care.
I take it and I put it in there. Oh, is it not over this way? Oh,
It's gotta
it's
go
over
over the top. Over
Really?
the top,
Top.
yeah. It's like a beautiful waterfall.
Oh.
Yeah. He's not poetic, but he's poetic.
You know what? Your marriage is gonna succeed. This in advance. I like it.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Guys, if we missed any questions that you want to know about these guys,
I didn't know that
Comment
was going
below.
to happen.
Comment below with the hashtag #FThisWedding.
Is it EFF or capital F this wedding?
I think capital F because it stands for fun,
Fun.
family, friends,
fellowship, forgetfulness,
forgiveness.
And then after the wedding, it's dancing.
It's one word.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You sound like your mother when you sing.
I do.